Welcome back, guys, to a brand new episode of Mastering Programming. Now, in today's episode, I'm doing things a little bit different. I will be showcasing my first video game. Now, this is the first video game that I created, designed, developed, programmed, did pretty much everything except for some of the graphics. I paid someone to do them, and also with the music, my friend's doing it. Other than that, I did everything. So, this is the first video game, my first experience, and I didn't publish it yet. I'm publishing it next week, so I'll be, vlogging or like noting down my like experience within the first week of publishing my first game. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. Welcome back, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the intro. Now, as you can see, I have the menu already like completely set up. Obviously, the score is not this is like hard coded 165 1654. This is not the actual score of anyone. I will be working on putting the actual score in like displayed, but this is the first outlet of the first main menu. Now, the name of the game is Two Taps, and I'll show you why exactly in a second. And also, this the first thing your eye probably saw is reach 3,000 meters and earn 500 USDs. Now, that is not just something I'm putting there, it's not like a trick or anything. If you reach 3,000 meters, and that's the end of the map, by the way, so it's an endless runner game, except there is an end, and that is at 3,000 meters. This is still being decided on, but for now, it's 3,000 meters. And if you reach that, the first three people that will reach 3,000 meters will earn 500 USD dollars. So keep that in mind. You can get rich just like that. Now I'm planning to make the game really hard. It will probably be harder than Flappy Birds, but you know, just we can do it. Anyway, let's go ahead and run this. And first thing I'm gonna take you to is the market where you can buy things. Now, as you can see, it's not completely ready yet. It's very basic. You can just choose to start at 2,500 for $10, 2006, 3, and $1 just to remove that. So it's actually pretty cheap. And considering the fact that you'll be 500 meters off 3,000 meters, which will give you $500, $10 is no big deal. Now, obviously, the buttons are not actually connected to anything yet, so they're not connected to like code which will process these payments. And that's actually something that I'm having difficulty with. So I already set up the ads, I set up everything. I actually have the code for the in-app purchases. I just haven't managed to actually make it do anything yet. Anyway, let's go to the important parts. Let's head back and then press start. So as you can see, it's just like a very clean menu, but press start and you will start straight away. And this is inside Unity, so it's a bit slow. And straight away, you're this ball and you're supposed to try and reach as far as you can go. Obviously, every time you're gonna die, or not every time you're gonna die, but when you die, most likely an ad will pop up. You close it, you can either restart or watch a reward ad like this. Now these are just like pictures, but this will be an ad. So I'll show you like a video recording of my phone with the game, and ads actually show up. And if I close this, I'm supposed to be at 500 meters, but it's at 355 now. So you can see there's still a lot of things to work on. And now you can navigate between the cities. So there's 5 different maps. There might be less when I publish this game, but so far you're just trying to avoid hitting into objects and using these 2 buttons. Now, sounds easy, looks easy, but it's actually really hard to like. It's very sensitive. So one tap pushes you all the way to the left or the right. And I'll give you an example. So right now, this is where you're going to start. You can see the score up there, and every tap pushes you so much, gives you like a lot of force, and most likely you will die like the first 10 rounds of the game. Um, so this is pretty much the gameplay that I have right now. I have 3 different maps at the moment, but when this game is going to be published, I should have about 5, and they should reach a score of 3,000. Like that's the high score you can reach, and you will earn $500 if you reach that. Let me then show you what I have set up for the App Store Connect. So I'm planning on releasing this on iOS, maybe, possibly on Android as well. But for now, it's just going to be on iOS. It's just easier. I'm using a Mac, and it makes things easier if you just publish it like on the App Store. So I've created an App Store Connect. Sorry, I created the app developer account. You pay $140 for that. So Apple does take quite a lot, and they actually earn 30% of everything you make after that from ad revenues, in-app purchases, whatever is gonna come in your pocket, Apple's taking well, whatever you earn, Apple's taking 30% off it. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually click on my apps, and I'll show you that this is already registered over there. There you go. You have two taps, and it says prepare for submission. Obviously, there is no way this is ready for submission. So let me just give you some context on that. If you want to publish something on the App Store, you have to first submit it, and then Apple reviews it. Someone, like a real person, actually reviews every single app about to be published, makes sure it doesn't have like any glitches or any, sorry, not glitches, any like harmful materials that might, damage an iPhone or something like that. And if your app doesn't, then it will be accepted. Most likely my app will not be accepted straight away. Most people who try to submit things, they actually get refused within the first like 2 or 3 times, maybe, depending on how good you are. I've been following the guidelines, but I'm definitely getting refused. I still didn't figure out an icon for the game. So if you know how to do an icon, maybe send me a message or anything like that. And again, it's called two taps. If I click on it, um, there's nothing really like important here. There's just the Apple ID, name, bundle ID, stuff like that. So just stuff that are useful for the game to be published, but nothing cool or anything like that. Obviously, if I go back to the App Store Connect and try and hit, um, you know, app analytics, there will be nothing because the app is not actually published. So this is some information for you. Maybe you got worried that you didn't see anything, but don't stress. You shouldn't see anything. So after that, let me just show you the code. Now, let's go with player collision. So how I set it up is that as you go from left to right, you're actually getting harder within the code. Not longer, just getting harder or doing more complex things. So the player collision is actually much easier than I expected it will be. I just have like some tags, like for objects, and let me show you. So if you just go in any like object in Unity, you can tag it as an obstacle, floor, or whatever. So I it's like the ID for it, and anything with the ID of obstacle is an object that if you hit into them or collide into them, you're exploded, you're crashed, you're done. Um, Welcome menu, which is the first thing, which is like the first thing you're seeing right in front of you. Let me just move the studio right here. And of course, you have your tracker, which measures how far you've went. Player movement. This is the code for it. Um, Now, I'm not obviously explaining this code in this very short episode, but this is more of like just showing you what I've done. We have the game manager, which is now it's getting a little bit more complicated and a little bit longer, as you can see. The IAP manager, which is the in-app purchases, is completely blowing my mind. I have no idea how to do it, or like I've implemented it, but it's still not working properly. But you can see it's how many lines of code? It's 241 lines of code. Well, 239 lines of code, which is a lot for me. And after that, you get your add controllers, buy buttons, just some very basic things. This should be at the very top. It's easy. It's just making the camera follow the player. Other than that, let me just show you one more gameplay. And then that's it. That's going to be it for the video. So again, I'm not expecting much from this game. It's my first game. I'm expecting to be a lot of glitches. I'm expecting to have some difficulty publishing it. Maybe it will get refused, and maybe it will not be submitted to the App Store from the first place. But if it makes someone happy, or if someone plays it and actually enjoys his time, obviously this is gonna mean a lot to me. And of course, I'm not gonna lie, I would love to make some revenue from it. I'm implementing the ads, the in-app purchases, so I'm expecting some money. $100 maybe, that would be good. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will be continuing with this like series, I guess, about making my first game and publishing it. So yeah, stick around and thank you. Have a good day.